The views expressed, opinions given, and any communication made between the hosts and guests of What Are You Afraid of Horror and Paranormal Show do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Para-X Radio, EMC Network, or all services that play this show. The hosts and services are not responsible for the actions of their guests, and the original rights of all intellectual property is retained by the creator, and all work is used with either permission or Creative Commons license. The show is for entertainment purposes only. I'm horror author T. Fox Dunham.
And I'm horror author and filmmaker Phil Thomas.
And tonight we're asking you,
what are you afraid of? Philadelphia's horror home with hosts T. Fox Dunham and Phil Thomas.
Thanks for listening to What Are You Afraid of Horror and Paranormal Show on Parax Radio at 9 o'clock on Friday nights Eastern Standard Time. And also you can find us over at the EMC Podcast Network and at all major download services. This is T. Fox Dunham introducing episode 90, The Screaming Banshee. Author Trish P.D. Cacek is back on the show. She's done a few Halloween shows with us before, and she's pretty much joining our little congregation of hooligans and mischief makers and paranormal researchers and authors. She's on with us from an interview we did at the Selma Mansion in Norristown during the First Paranormal Expo, hosted by Reap Investigation. Bill Reap and his crew did a wonderful job over there, and we've got a lot of content that we'll be playing over the next couple of episodes throughout the summer. So she's on with a great interview we did. We talked about ghosts and her writing and various movies and things like that, and she's just wonderful. So glad to have her back. P.D. Cacek, Patricia Diane Joy Ann Cacek, wow, what a mouthful, is an American author, mostly of horror novels. She graduated with a BA in creative writing from California State University, Long Beach in 1975. She's written Night Prayers, Canyons, The Wind Caller, Bell Book and Beyond, an anthology of witchy tales, and The Leavings, and The Silky, and she is just wonderful. So glad to have her on the show with us. Plus, we've got a ghost story back from paranormal ghost author and investigator and seeker of paranormal truth, Kerri Thomas, The Cleansing, read by David Walton. Then to finish up our evening of horror tales to get you through this dearth, warm, wonderful, bright summer as we're missing October, we have a Sacci for sale, written by old friend Mark Slade and read by a wonderful voice actress, Rhonda Mitchell, on What Are You Afraid of Horror and Paranormal Show. This is The Screaming Banshee, episode 90, and you will discover why we call this show The Screaming Banshee in our interview with P.D. Cacek. But for now, we bring you a wonderfully spooky tale from Kerri Thomas, read by English folk singer David Walton. This is The Cleansing. Are you haunted by shadow people in the middle of the night?
Do you secretly love all things creepy and spooky, enjoying ghost stories and horror fiction from the best storytellers?
Do you have a true ghost experience you want to share, but no one will believe you?
If yes, listen to the professionals on What Are You Afraid of Horror Paranormal Show Friday nights at 9 p.m. on Para-X Radio and at www.whatareyouafraidofpodcast.com.
What are you afraid of on Para-X?
Our creepy and demented hosts are on call to provide you with all your spooky needs with true ghost stories, interviews, indie music, and new horror fiction.
We are ready to scare you.
Para-X. The Cleansing, written by Kerri Thomas, author of The Haunting of a Family. From her website crankyhag.com, read by David Walton. Once we had decided to have our haunted home blessed, nothing paranormal happened for months. No footsteps, no noises. Melody, the cat, stopped freaking out and watching unseen people walk around. She calmed down too. I started to think maybe I was over-exaggerating and put off taking my brother's sound advice to have the house blessed. Then the footsteps returned. The cat began stalking unseen visitors and sometimes running out of the room with her scathing meows. The noises came back, as did the pacing dark figure. Things began moving by themselves, like the wire whisk had done. One of my shirts in my closet started swaying back and forth on its own, while the rest of the clothes on either side of it remained idle. One night I was awakened by someone leaning over me, like they were going to kiss me. They brushed my hair back from my face, and I opened my eyes thinking it was my husband, only to find no one was there. I convinced myself I had been dreaming and let it drop. Not long after the phantom kiss, I was lying in bed. The light in my son's old bedroom came on, and I could hear someone loudly moving things around in there. The room is now used to put stuff into instead of having to crawl into the attic. I called out my husband's name. No answer, but the light went off and the noise stopped. A few minutes later, the light came back on and the rearranging of things began again. This time I called his name a little louder, thinking my husband didn't hear me the first time. Again, the light went off and the movement stopped. The third time the light came on and he started moving things around, I got really irritated because I had to get up at 5 in the morning for work and he was disturbing me. When I got out of bed, I could still hear the light on under the door and hear the boxes being moved. I snatched open the door and snapped, "What are you doing in here?" The room was dark and empty. I was a little shaken up, but I didn't want to admit what had just happened. I went out to the living room, telling myself I had obviously just missed him being in there. I tried to remain calm as I asked, "What were you doing in the spare room?" "What are you talking about?" he said, sitting on the couch. He and my son looked at me like I was crazy. "Dad has been sitting here the whole time," my son insisted, along with his father. "Neither one of us had moved." I was so upset. I couldn't sleep the rest of the night and had to call one of my staff nurses in to cover me the following morning. She, being a Christian, and being aware of everything going on, including the phone call to my brother, Carl, said, "You need to do something soon, Michelle. You know your brother and sister are right. It is not your father." I agreed. However, I put off calling the pastor again. By this time, my nephew, Kevin, had moved in with us and was sharing a room with my son. They alternated sleeping in my son's bedroom and couch, their choice, until we cleaned out the spare room and put a bed in there for Kevin. Besides, the last thing I wanted was for Kevin to go back and tell his father I was losing my mind, having the house blessed and exorcised of ghosts. After Kevin had slept on the couch one night, I awoke to his complaints about me stomping to the refrigerator several times during the night. I knew what he was talking about right away. Instead of addressing it though, I said, "How could you hear anyone walking around in the kitchen? You fell asleep with the TV on again." "That's what I'm saying, Aunt Michelle. You were stomping around in there so hard even the glasses in the cupboard were shaking. Besides, every time you opened the fridge, the light would shine in here too." Some mornings, Kevin would complain about me rattling the pots and pans the previous night. He'd chastise me saying, "What were you going to cook at 3 in the morning?" I remembered my brother's complaints from years earlier, but said nothing. It was obvious that this entity was drawn to me. All the more reason people I shared this story with insisted it was my father's ghost. I was afraid of this entity, this ghost that haunted my house. If it were my father's ghost, as everyone insisted it were, I should not have been afraid of it, and here I was, very unnerved by the presence. I no longer slept with the light off. I kept the bathroom light on as a nightlight. My husband used to joke about buying me a Mickey Mouse nightlight. I accepted his offer, although he was joking, I wasn't. About a month after Kevin had moved in with us, I found the straw that broke the camel's back. Again, I was lying in bed. I had my eyes closed, but was very wide awake. I had the distinct impression someone was staring at me. I remember smirking a little, thinking it was my husband trying to sneak up on me. I opened my eyes and saw, standing right next to me, no more than a foot away, the silhouette of a little boy, and he was inching closer and closer to me. I gasped in surprise very loudly, and rolled backwards in the bed, away from the shadow. He stopped. Then all of a sudden, as if caught sneaking up on me, he ran away. I watched his shadow move along the wall as he exited my bedroom. Believe me when I say, it wasn't Peter Pan. The pastor was at my house 2 days later. The pastor came and blessed the house while I was at work. I asked everyone who was home, did he go to every room in the house? Yes, every room, especially your bedroom. That was on a Wednesday when the pastor came. That Monday, Kevin was in the bedroom, sleeping, since he had to get up early for work the next morning. All of a sudden he burst through the door into the living room. Aunt Michelle, you need to call the pastor back. I just saw a dark, shadowy figure pacing back and forth at the end of the bed. He was going from one side to the other like he didn't know what to do, and then, all of a sudden, he vanished into the wall. Kevin, I scolded, we just had the house blessed. If you keep talking about things like that, you will only invite it back. I swear, Aunt Michelle, I swear I saw it. I tried to call Reese, but he wouldn't answer his phone. You did not call me, my son insisted. My phone is sitting right here. I would have heard it ring. Check it, Kevin demanded. I called you twice. Reese looked at his phone and sure enough, he had 2 missed calls. I'm not lying about this. I'm keeping the bedroom door open tonight. That was Monday night following the blessing. On Thursday, as I was cleaning some shelves off and putting things in boxes for the yard sale we were having the following weekend, I came across some tarot cards my husband had given me for Christmas one year. The same year my father had passed away. I called my brother Carl back and brought him up to date on what's happened. I also told him what I found. Do you think these could have something to do with what's going on? Well, yeah, he declared, laughing. I asked if you had a Ouija board. But this is not a Ouija board, Carl. I wouldn't have one in my house. These are tarot cards, which are nothing more than a Ouija board in card form. Get rid of them, and fast. I heeded his warning, and nothing else has happened since I got rid of the tarot cards. Nevertheless, the experience 10 years long did not leave me or even my son unscarred. Although my daughter's old bedroom is no longer an icebox, my son still prefers to sleep in the living room. He's wary of any sudden noises or movements inside the house. His cat stays close to him for protection. After all, he is her mommy. For me, I still have a hard time sleeping in my bedroom with or without my husband. I'm constantly looking and listening just in case. If I do sleep in my room, I sleep with the lights on when my husband isn't there. Make no mistake, If I so much as think something has returned, I will be on the phone faster than you can say Ghostbusters, and calling in reinforcements. If you enjoyed this ghost story, please check out the author's book on Amazon.com, The Haunting of a Family by Kerri Thomas, and her website www.thecrankyhag.com for more of her stories.
Mercy, a new horror medical thriller from author T. Fox Dunham, published by Bloodbound Books. Based on the author's horrific battle with a rare form of lymphoma that involved intense chemotherapy and radiation, Fox turns the horror of his experience into terror on the page.
William Saint is dying of cancer. On most days, death seems like a humane alternative to the treatment. Stricken with fever, William is rushed to Mercy, notorious as a place to send the sickest of the poor and uninsured to be forgotten, and finds the hospital in even worse condition than his previous visit.
Willie's memories faded. He grabbed his sack head, the sack head of the scarecrow, picking at the exposed chicken wire to hold them in. However, the memories fell out of the holes in his face. They wormed and crawled from the leather flesh and the old clothing of the scarecrow, then squirmed and wiggled down his body.
The grounds are unkempt, the foundation is cracking, and like the wild mushrooms sprouting from the fissures of decay around it, something is growing inside the hospital. Something dark.
Fangoria gives Mercy 3.5 out of 4 skulls. Dunham has channeled his many brushes with the other side into the exquisitely rendered, lyrical, supernatural hospital thriller Mercy.
It's feeding on the sickness and sustaining itself on the staff, changing them, and now it wants Willie.
Come now, Mr. Saint. Just a little more of that sweet milk. So salty and so good. You won't miss it. And we ever do so like our delicacies here at Mercy Hospital.
Part medical horror, part supernatural suspense, Mercy is a hard-hitting fever dream of a novel. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Tim Wagner, author of The Way of All Flesh and Eat the Night. Available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores everywhere in both print and digital versions.
Life is an addiction.
Let go. Let it all burn. What happens to a ghost when their home is torn down? No one thinks of the disembodied when they rip down old buildings, dig up cemeteries, and build clean, unhauntable condos. Every year, hundreds of spirits are driven out of their own haunts by the careless living to exist alone with no one to scare. At ParaX Radio, our hosts feel the plight of these evicted disembodied, and we're reaching out to you to please open your heart to one of these lost souls, such as the ghost soldier of the General Wayne Inn or the abandoned spirit cat of Benjamin Rush. So please, please, let a little spooky into your life. Won't you open your house to a ghost without a home?
Para-X.
Hi, I'm David Walton, and I drop whatever I'm doing to read whatever Fox and Phil demand of me. My digital, as opposed to ectoplasmic alter ego, is called Brendan Shawland, who regularly plays guitar and sings in a virtual world. Brendan has a website, David doesn't. Bandcamp sales figures would suggest that Brendan's music is decidedly niche. If you want to be in the vanguard of support as Brendan heads towards global domination, just put Brendan Shawland in your favourite search engine, and you'll find his website very close to the top. You'll see what the human looks like, and you can check out the Listen to a Song page to access Brendan's unwillingly private world of creative output.
This is T. Fox Dunham. What are you afraid of, Horror and Paranormal Show? Apologize for the background noise. Once again, we are out in the field, and we're hanging out. We are at the Selma Mansion for the First Paranormal Expo here in Norristown, and it's a wonderful day. They were calling for rain, but it looks like the rain is holding off. There's a lot of great vendors here, everything from art to psychics to other ghost stories and paranormal investigators. And of course, T. Fox Dunham is here with copies of Mercy, Destroying the Tangible Illusion of Reality. And I've got an old friend sitting next to me, author, here we go,
Oh boy.
Bram Stoker, award-winning author, can't say that enough, P.D.
Yes, you
Cacek.
can, actually.
And you won the World Fantasy?
I won the World Fantasy many, many years ago, back when I was your younger, older author.
But still, it's still quite an achievement. I mean, and everyone who comes in, I introduce her as the Bram Stoker Award winner. It's when I've been typing it up in all my...
Yeah, you have, yeah.
Well, you gotta flaunt it, and I gotta flaunt you.
Oh, thank you, but, I think my flaunting days are over. If I flaunt it, look at that poor old woman flaunting it. Oh, my God, put her away.
When you got it, flaunt it.
It's getting away from me, actually.
That was Mel Brooks from...
Yes.
That was that great
When
moment.
you gotta flaunt it, all right.
You gotta flaunt it.
Yeah.
You gotta flaunt it, yeah. So, hey, Trish, how are you?
I'm fine. This is a great place.
You enjoying yourself?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I've got to come back. I've already volunteered to help, scrape walls and, put up shingles or whatever.
I would do that too with you, but it sounds like work.
Yeah.
So I'm not, yeah, it's kind of...
It's fun, though, occasionally, like Stephen King, when he was writing Pet Sematary and got to the point where...
He would dig grapes.
The child had to die. He was up on the roof.
Right.
Doing something with the TV antenna in a rainstorm. So sometimes the physical activity is good.
I get that. I'll fish.
Fishing is... I like fish. Fish is good.
You see, there's this thing about work. I don't like it. No,
it depends.
Yeah, I do.
Writing is some of the hardest work in the world.
It requires a great deal of self-discipline.
Yes.
It really does to finish something.
And a cushion under your buttocks.
Right, it does. Or on your back.
God, your back, yes.
Because, when I work at Barnes & Noble or Starbucks, I always have the pillow with me.
Yeah.
Even though I've needed it less lately.
Well, there you are.
I actually got through a movie last week without needing the pillow at all.
Oh, my God.
That's what I mean. I'm doing better.
That is fantastic.
The pain is better. It was Han Solo.
How was that?
I'm
waiting for it to come on TV.
I'm a little more critical because people should be critical.
Yeah.
Like people were complaining, oh, they're not true Star Wars fans. I'm like, no, you spend money on a movie, you should be able to criticize the part you didn't like. I say that it was the best amateur fan fiction film Star Wars I've ever seen.
All right, definitely gonna wait for it to come on cable.
And the director has a great career ahead of him when he gets out of film school.
Or
that's what it felt
preschool.
like. Yeah, preschool. That's what it felt like.
God, we're gonna get sued for that one.
Yeah, probably. Well, First Amendment, I guess. Journalists kind of things. But no, I enjoyed it. I mean, I went just because I like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And when you see the TIE Fighters and the Star Destroyers, you got to see it on the big screen.
Oh yeah, you do.
And you kind of disable your higher criticism.
Well, it's much as with writing, you suspension of disbelief.
The suspension of disbelief, and sometimes you have to prepare yourself when you go in.
Yeah.
Now, I did see Avengers, Infinity Wars. Did you see that one?
That one is what I'm going to see, because, I am...
I was thrilled.
I'm a geek for that.
That was just... I mean, that's when I was still in some more pain, and it's a very long movie.
Yeah.
And by the end of the movie, I was going, wait a minute, is that it?
Well, okay, that's very good.
It wasn't any longer, and then I realized how long it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Now, have you seen any of the new horror movies?
No,
I think there's Heredity or something like that?
Yeah, I've heard of Heredity, but it's not been really highly promoted.
Yeah, it's called a slow burn.
Okay,
now,
a slow burn.
If you write a slow burn book, novel, your publisher will go, no, nothing happens. But in movies, that's how I like to read. Mm-hmm. I read where the very, build it, because you have a background. You have a real life. You don't have somebody's head fall off in the first page, because then you have to figure out why.
Right.
But I like that. It's a little more real. So, I'm going to ask you, horror movies.
Okay.
Have you watched foreign horror movies?
There were a couple that would qualify.
Okay.
As foreign horror or science fiction. There was one I really liked. I can't think of the name at the moment. I believe it was a Spanish film set in Spain.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, all the adults, if they left the building, whatever building they were in, they would have some sort of panic attack, have a heart attack, and die.
Whoa. Okay.
So all of a sudden, it sort of spread like a virus. It didn't happen overnight. People all of a sudden were terrified to leave their office building, leave their apartments, and if they were pushed outside and left there, after a few minutes, they have a panic heart attack and die. And pretty soon, it was everyone. So people could no longer leave the building they were in. So they couldn't go shopping for food. They couldn't go anywhere outside. And some people got through the floor into the sewers. So they were getting to supermarkets, but you don't think about it, but it's such a interesting twist.
Wow.
Like, what if we got here today, and we're hanging out, and none of us could ever leave this building again? There's no food here.
No.
There's barely any water.
Well, it depends. There's a number of people.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll start sizing them up.
Yeah, entrees and desserts.
If you're going to be a cannibal, do it first.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it was a very interesting, and it was in Spanish. It was from Spain, and of course, I put quotations on my television anyway because my hearing's damaged, so I don't hear certain frequencies. So I gotta do closed captioning, and it was really.
I'm gonna have to look for that.
Yeah, I'll find the title for you. It was on Netflix at the time. That one. There were a couple of others.
Yeah, I watch a lot of Asian horror.
Okay.
And the one, the original Eye.
Yeah.
Was.
And the Ring.
And the Ring.
That was Asian.
Ringo.
Yeah.
I saw a couple years ago Lake Mungo.
Okay.
It's Australian, and it's a ghost story. And it's about a paranormal investigator comes because this girl died, and she's haunting the house. And I'm not going to give away too much, but if you ever watch it, you have to watch the entire thing plus the end credits, because it continues into the end credits, and what you think happened is explained in the end credits, and it's really very good. It's just a slow burn.
Lake Mungo.
Okay.
Well, that was the other thing I thought about Han Solo, and it really was a money-making device. They're just trying to squeeze as much juice out of that lemon as they can.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I thought to myself, this is the sort of exposition material that an editor cuts from the book.
Yes. Yeah.
And basically, like, all this character backstory that would do nothing but lag down the plot. Yeah. And whatever it was, they just took it all and turned it into its own story. Kind of like the Silmarillion from Tolkien.
Oh, yeah. There are certain reasons authors put things into a trunk. I mean, that's your baby. You don't want to throw it out. You don't want to burn it, except I did. And then somebody finds it and goes, I can put these together and I can make a book and make money. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like Disney is just, they think the Star Wars icon is so culturally powerful that they can pick up the scraps off the cutting room floor, tape it together, put a name on it, do a little marketing, and all of a sudden everybody's just going to go see it like zombies, regardless if they like it or not.
Well,
and maybe,
Well, they do. My generation, possibly not as much, because we got the original.
Right.
We didn't care where Han Solo came from.
Right.
Or why he has this talking 12-foot tall teddy bear.
Carpet, yeah.
Hangs around with. But it was just, that was one point where you were immersed instantly into this world, and it didn't matter. Because you were part of the freedom fighters who, suddenly, my God, it's right here. I have to watch this. So, I wish them luck. It's not going to lose money.
The wonderful characteristics of Star Wars I always loved was in the original trilogy, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, the Empire were a bunch of old English guys.
You noticed that.
And the Rebellion were the uppity teenager hippies.
Yeah.
And then in the new movies, Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, the Rebellion's all the old people, and the First Order are the uppity teenagers.
Well, that's because all of us old codgers are, old enough to become the Empire people.
Right, and I honestly always supported the Empire. I didn't care much for the fascism or the tyranny, but the style is wonderful.
That's true.
Very deco art Sith.
Yeah.
So,
there you go. But
we're up at the Paranormal Expo.
Yes.
In Selma. Bill Reed put this together with Reed Investigations.
Yes, which is a wonderful. Please come out to any of their events. I mean, it is haunted.
It is haunted. Yeah.
It is haunted.
You felt that when you came in.
Yeah. And I came to the staircase going up to the third floor, which was the children's room and the nursery maid's room. And I stopped, and I didn't hear a word, didn't see anybody, but I had to ask permission to go upstairs.
Oh, I see. You asked them permission.
I asked a human being because I was supposed to, and then I could go upstairs. But on occasion, I will, get feelings. And there's, I don't know, a friend of mine who lived in the area said, it's not haunted, it's not haunted. It's okay, comfortably, but there's something upstairs.
I think so.
You can feel it.
There's something in most old buildings somewhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's old, it's going to have memories. But apparently, the lady of the house is a sentient haunt, and she will make comments. In fact, she may be coming in. The lady who was going upstairs to collect some trash, and she heard very plainly, "Oh, the help has arrived."
Oh.
So it's like, "Oh,
really?
Oh." First of all, it's kind of like, "Well, thank you," but So yes, it's sometimes you find things like that, and you don't need it to be a night. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have the lights off. You don't have to have every kind of gadget.
Yeah.
If it's a haunting, it's going to be in the daylight.
They generally don't, a true haunting doesn't rely on atmosphere.
No.
And I've heard that. And the other thing is that I've heard is that television's really ruining the modern perceptions of haunting.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, you put a crew, I don't care how big a crew, or a small crew, you put a crew in a dark room, a dark house, and you tell them this is haunted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You turn off the lights. Something is going to happen.
Right.
Regardless, if it's not real, something will happen. You will, and there's always, they have those film cameras facing the person, and they just say, "Oh, did you see that? Why not put the film camera facing out so when you see it, the audience sees it?"
Right. That's very true.
Things have happened to me, as you know.
Yeah.
But I'm skeptical.
Did
you just see that? No.
Right. I mean, most paranormal investigators spend 3 days on a property. They collect a lot of material. It's usually a lot sitting in the silence.
Yeah.
Just waiting. And then they go home, look at the material, and they might catch an EVP. There might be a spectral image who passes by. There might be... It's not all that compelling drama.
No.
It's a scientific collection of data.
Yeah, and if you've ever done scientific collection, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like going on an archaeological dig. Great, and they give you this toothbrush and go, here. Great. Oh, fantastic.
Right, they'll sit through 50 hours of film and sound, just listening to the silence, looking at the darkness. On a rare occasion, they'll go, was that something?
Yeah.
And then the farthest they'll usually get is, we can't explain this.
Yeah. Or, we can't explain it, and this is what it is, so let's see.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Destination Truth. I mean, that's a fun show, and I enjoy it. I kind of go, yeah, okay, they're not saying anything. They were in Romania, in a haunted field, nothing around, and they would do solo reads. And they had this one guy out there, one of the cameramen, and they're filming him, and they're all at base camp, and you hear wind starting in the trees. Mm-hmm. And you're going, okay, we're in Romania in a forest, it's an open area. Suddenly, from a sitting position, you see him jerk up and disappear. And I'm going, okay, that is compelling. Mm-hmm. And they found him, a ways away, and he's itchy, and apparently, if you get touched by ghosts, you contract hives. I don't know, you get itchy. But
I've heard that.
That was the one I'm going, okay, cannot explain that. I would have liked to have been there. Mm-hmm. I am kind of really, you gotta go show me. And if it is, like, fantastic. Or if I get feelings. But this place definitely has a feeling.
I definitely felt some energy when I came in. It sort of moved upstairs into the attic.
Well, if they're smart, they're in the attic. Going, I'm not going to hang out with these people. They're nuts.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, this is our home. We've invaded it. It's kind of like, oh my gosh.
That's
it's
very
like having relatives going, I want them to leave. I love them to death, but I can't wait for them to go home.
It's a public site, so people come in. It's an older building. It definitely needs to be cleaned up and renovated a bit. But I love this fireplace.
Oh yeah.
This marble here. It's been sealed up, but this is gorgeous. And we're upstairs in one of the bedrooms, I think.
I think it was the lady at the house.
The ladies of the house. I mean, it's a wonderful house. Most of the rooms are connecting. Mm-hmm. And you like the new table setup we got going?
Oh,
here?
It's beautiful.
I know. I'm really taking it up a notch. And you got a book here, Night Prayers.
I got a book, yes.
Up on the table.
It's my very first novel.
Okay. And so you've been, snatching it from people.
Well, yes, it's I call it a humorous, erotic vampire novel. Let's just face it, it's filthy.
Yes, it's filthy.
It's filthy. It's X-rated. I have to see your ID if you're going to buy it.
Okay. Right. So, okay, and what are you working on now?
Oh, yeah. Okay. First, let me preface this.
Okay.
I don't like dolls.
You
don't like dolls.
Dolls. Okay.
Do not like dolls. Never liked dolls. I used to put my Barbie under my father's wheels and she would implode. I mean, 2 craters as opposed to what she looked like. But I'm not fond of mannequins either, or puppets or stuff like that. So when King of Prussia, JCPenney's was going out of business, my hobby is vulching. I will vulch stores going out of business.
A vulch?
Like a vulture.
Okay.
A vulch.
I thought it was Yiddish or something.
It's a verb. Yeah, it's to vulch.
To vulch, I vulch, he vulch.
Yeah.
Okay.
You vulches. But I was there and I saw this stack, pile of mannequins in the corner, and they were children's size. And I kind of like, yeah. And then I asked the lady, how much for the little one? And
sounds like the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, it cost me $35. And
okay.
I thought, when I looked at it, I said, I can put it into a sheet for Halloween, put it on the front porch, and it will be, scary. And one of the guys brought it over. I picked him up, and I went, oh, so your name is Sebastian, huh? And I got him the entire novel, so I'm writing his novel.
Oh.
He is now sitting in my office fully clothed because he is,
right.
part of the family now. And yes, it's a full novel about Sebastian.
That's wonderful. So you had no idea you were going to do that?
Nope.
And
sometimes the magic happens.
The book just evolved right there.
Yeah, same thing with the Selkie, but the Sebastian now I have.
And I love stories of the Selkies.
Well, that Selkie, did I ever tell you the story about the Selkie?
You may have, but
okay.
It
starts with a woman killing her terminally ill child.
Oh,
by drowning.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And then she says, no, I gave it to my friend the Selkie. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of like a Rashomon's story where it's different points of view.
Yeah, okay.
A psychiatrist and a policeman are trying to talk about it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay.
And but that's the story. And I won't tell you how it ends. Someone singing or having a cat set on a cat, but I don't. But as I was writing the Selkie, I was also working on my larger novel, Remnants. Mm-hmm. And I had to take a break. And I came downstairs to knit because my hands get stiff.
I understand.
And I was knitting. And I have files and soundscapes, which is new age. And I was listening, playing in the background. And as I was knitting, not thinking of anything, a piece of music came on. And I got the idea for the Selkie. I got the entire idea for the Selkie. With characters. With the beginning, middle, and end. Mm-hmm. And I said, I have to go upstairs. And I raced upstairs. And as I passed the television, I glanced. And I just saw the title called The Selkie. Mm-hmm. I didn't see who the performer was. I should have waited. But I ran upstairs. And I turned off my one file, opened a new one, wrote the ending, wrote the beginning, and was up there for 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. And while I was writing this piece of music kept playing. Mm-hmm. 45 minutes. And if you ever see Soundscape, it's a 2-minute, if you're lucky, 3-minute songs. But 45 minutes, this thing played. Mm-hmm. I shut it down because I was exhausted. And as I ended it, the music stopped. Mm-hmm. And so I've been listening to soundscapes for the last 3 years, and I've never heard that piece of music again. Okay. So, what did I hear? I heard something called the Selkie.
Okay.
That doesn't exist, because people have been sending me music thing about the Selkie, and nada. It did not. It does not exist.
Phil Thomas just got here.
Woohoo!
Phil is here. He's wearing his lanyard.
He's wearing. Oh my God! You found a lanyard.
Got it in Ocean City.
I found it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to buy myself a lanyard. I keep seeing lanyards. I don't know what I need for.
Next time I'm in Ocean City, I'll get you a pirate lanyard.
Oh, arg.
Well, Tricia, it's been cool talking to you.
Yes, and I will be back because you must like the ghost. You'll never get rid of me now.
Definitely. And it sounds like October. We're up at Fort Mifflin.
Oh, God, yeah.
We'll be setting that up.
I'm going to be there.
And I just want to make special note of Dark Whimsy Photo Art.
Oh, please do.
It's a wonderful series of photographs done by Brenda Conrad. I mean, she's got a cemetery here. And you did some wonderful artwork, very creepy, very spooky. She gave us a battery She saved my bum when I only had AAA batteries. And let's see here. We'll have links for her up at the website. She's photography art by Brenda Conrad. And you can find that at www.brendaconradartistwebsites.com or www.brenda-conrad.pixels.com. And she is just phenomenal. I bought one of her pieces. She's got angels. She's got statues that have decayed. I mean, she's got such a wonderful eye for the passage of time. And so definitely check her out. She is here at the Paranormal Expo in Selma. Phil just got here. We're hanging out. They're doing lectures upstairs with different paranormal investigators. We got some wonderful stuff. And we got a great table.
Oh, seriously, I'll just sit here drinking that.
Yeah. Okay. Check us out at www.whatayouafraidofpodcast.com. We'll be back with more interviews. Phil's hanging out. And this is just such a great place.
It's cool. Put it back in.
Yeah. And we'll be back. This is T. Fox Dunham. Phil Thomas is here.
Hey, how you doing?
And Trisha's been hanging out with me all day. Yay! Bram Stoker, award-winning author.
If he
PD
feels better, I can
Cacek.
hit him now, right?
Yeah. Okay, Trish. I know you gotta leave.
Yes.
And this is probably the best time to do this. All day, are you ready for this? Take a deep breath. All day you have been describing your Banshee scream.
Oh, God. Seriously?
Yeah, I think it's time. Okay, just to set this up, everybody, she has been talking about how she screams like a banshee. What do you do that for?
I am with a group of costume characters called the Patient Creatures.
Okay.
I am Moira the Banshee. There you
Moira.
are. And I do it at Blobfest in July.
At Blobfest in Phoenixville.
In Phoenixville, yeah. You've got
Okay,
to
I'm
come.
going to step out just for a second. Hold on.
Yeah, you better ask people if I can.
Yeah. Does anybody mind if P.D. Cacek demonstrates her Banshee scream? Are we good?
Is that like the Rebel Yell?
Yeah, kind of, yes. I just want to warn everybody. Okay, I'm going to go in the next room. I'm sorry to interrupt. P.D. Cacek was going to demonstrate her Banshee scream for a second. Does anybody mind?
Oh my God, I want to hear it.
Okay, is that okay?
Yes.
So it's making sure. All right, so P.D. Cacek. Okay.
So can I do it?
Well, everyone on the second floor has agreed.
Back up.
All right, everyone. Here she comes.
Okay, give me a countdown. 3, 2,
P.D.
1.
Cacek. She's standing up, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. This is the moment we've been waiting for. The Banshee scream. They're gonna know what's going on. Okay, Phil, I'll start at 5. You're gonna 4. Okay. So this is P.D. Cacek, award-winning Banshee screamer.
Yeah, you put it in.
Yeah, everyone, she's gonna scream in a second.
I'm going to scream. You better put your fingers in your
So-
ears.
No, go for it. Oh, fingers in the ears. All right.
Okay, so 5,
4,
3,
2,
1. Okay.
All right.
That silenced the room.
And the entire floor.
Yep. All right. And that was P.D. Cacek. The whole building has gone quiet as the
Yes.
Banshee
Oh my God,
scream.
it has.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Everyone in the other rooms are wondering what's going on.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. All right.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys.
Also, okay. That was more powerful than we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're in a small room.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, and then you bounce back.
Yeah. All right. So that was the Banshee scream that she's told everyone about. And this is T. Fox Dunham.
I'm Phil Thomas.
And What Are You Afraid of? Horror and Paranormal Show. Thanks, Trish.
Yeah, me screaming again.
Yeah.
What are you afraid of?
Hi, I'm Tim Wagner, Bram Stoker award-winning author.
Hashtag Grave Girls.
This is Katrina Weidman of Destination America's Paranormal Lockdown.
This is Jim Chambers. I'm the author of The Engines of Sacrifice.
This is Jasper Barr, award-winning author of The Final Cut.
And you're listening to What Are You Afraid of?
What Are You Afraid of?
To What Are You Afraid of?
What are you afraid of?
Love it. Fantoxic, please. Fantoxic.
All right, here we go. Quiet. Roll up.
Hello everyone, I'm Andrew Willis, the host of Movies Now and Then. We're a podcast that looks at one new release film in theaters, then we compare and contrast it with a classic or underappreciated film from cinema history. We're not a traditional movie show in that we try to have a more conversational approach to our discussion. We want our listeners to be informed, engaged, and hopefully even entertained. If this sounds like something you might enjoy, give us a listen. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or anywhere podcasts are found by searching Movies Now and Then.
Caliburn Press, LLC is a Madison, Wisconsin-based publishing company owned and operated by Alan Ledden. Caliburn works with talented writers, artists, editors, and marketers throughout the United States, and you can find their books through their many imprints that include Damnation Books, Eternal Press, Malaferia Press, Ciento Sordida Publishing, and Spiro Publishing. Please visit their website at sites.google.com/site/Caliburn Press LLC/home or Google Caliburn Press to check out their growing list of titles on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and any other place fine books are sold.
I'm Jenna Valadez with the Basement Files. Tune in Friday nights, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the ParaX Radio Network.
A Sacci for Sale, written by Mark Slade and read by Rhonda Mitchell. Mark Slade has appeared in Weird Book number 32, Shopping List, and other publications. He is the author of A Six Gun and The Queen of Light, The Book of Weird, Blackout City Confidential for Horrified Press. Mark has written the Western Horror audio drama The Sundowners, and a book of those scripts to be published by Horrified Press. He currently writes and produces the audio drama Blood Noir for ParaX Radio, anchor.fm/blood-noir.com. He lives in Williamsburg, Virginia with his wife and daughter.
It was 2:30 in the morning and Barry was still on GarageSale.com. Lily awoke, saw the quick flash of light on their darkened bedroom wall from the computer's monitor. She sat up, eyes barely in focus. Her blonde hair was matted to the left side of her face. Lily rubbed her eyes. Barry was shirtless. Lily saw mounds and mounds of hair on his back, each strand waving at her because of the central air working overtime on such a hot summer night. She watched him nod his head and began typing fast. Lily rose from the bed and stood. The strap from her nightgown slid from her shoulder and momentarily revealed her right breast. She coughed to get his attention, but Barry was caught up in something. She rolled her eyes and placed her breast back into her nightgown. "What are you doing?" Lily said, annoyed by the small amount of attention from Barry. Barry jumped at the sound of her voice. "Nothing," he squeaked. He retrieved his man's voice and said again, "Nothing, honey." Lily walked over and peered over Barry's shoulders. "Oh," she said, disappointed. "I thought I would catch you looking at porno or having an online affair like normal people." She walked into the bathroom. He could hear running water in the toilet. Instead, she appeared again in the bedroom after a loud flush. "I find you still on GarageSale.com, bidding on crap we don't need." "It's not crap." Barry stretched his arms, bones cracking like incidental music from a scene in a movie. "I'm a collector, Lily. Everything I buy is classy pop culture." "Yeah, like Ernst Borgnine's underpants he wore in the movie Ice Station Zebra?" "Don't mock me. I did find a buyer for that item." "Old Mr. Coleman down the street gave you $5 for that item." "So? He's a collector too." "Barry, he's a 75-year-old gay man who talks to a phonograph of Truman Capote." "That's not normal?" Lily stared at Barry for a moment. "There's no getting through to you, is there?" She wearily climbed back into bed. "We have a garage full of stuff we can't use, will not use, and no interest in them other than you bought them from GarageSale.com. You will be an alone divorced weirdo trying to sell a comb once used by Danny DeVito for pennies to buy your next meal. I'm just warning you." She removed her nightgown and threw it to the floor. "Now get in bed and make love to me, and I won't divorce you." Barry's face fell. He sighed, turned off the computer. "Okay," he said with the enthusiasm of a man about to be hung from the neck at the gallows. In the morning, Lily was awakened by Barry's cries of joy. She bolted upright in bed, looking around expecting something other than her husband glued to the computer monitor laughing and high-fiving the cat. "I did it!" Barry screamed and the cat ran off with its tail in a question mark. Lily crawled out of bed and put on her nightgown. She heard herself say it but didn't want to ask him. "What did you do?" Knowing that was a mistake. "I want a Sacci." Lily shrugged. "What the devil is a Sacci?" Barry tapped his forehead with his index finger and thought a moment. Well, he started. Thought some more. It's, God, Barry, don't strain yourself. Lily. You don't even know what you bought, you idiot? Lily angrily sashed into the bathroom. I do too know what I bought, he called out to her. Barry looked at the computer screen. It read, GarageSale.com. Congratulations, you have won this item. Sacci, a subhuman that grants any number of wishes. It requires very little demand of you, and with its power of wish fulfillment, could change your life forever. Lily looked at Barry stone-faced. You are an idiot, Barry Hughes. She clicked off the screen for GarageSale.com and signed in to her email. Why would you do that? Barry was puzzled. We could use this. Barry, this kind of thing doesn't exist. Just like Ewoks, leprechauns, and unicorns. Unicorns did exist, Barry exerted. They died out with the dinosaurs. I saw their definition in the dictionary. Why did I marry you? Lily checked her email. Several from her mother she didn't wish to read, and far too many Facebook comments on a picture she uploaded of the cat. Barry thought a moment, then he spurted out, Because you love me. That's why you married me. Lily scoffed. I wouldn't go that far. Might be because of your butt. Lily, I need some gas money. She sighed. Get my card, honey. She went back to answering the email to her mother. Try to have a nice day at work, okay? Barry placed his clip-on tie, made a sour face. Today is 10% off for senior citizens at the store. Those blue-haired old ladies creep me out when they get too fresh. Lily laughed. That's what you get when you're cute and the assistant manager of a grocery store. Yeah, they sense my power. Barry leaned over Lily's shoulder and kissed her goodbye. I'll have dinner ready for you when you get home, she called out to him as he went out the front door of the apartment. Barry waved to her and closed the door. Barry came home about 6 that day. He managed to pass through the front door of his apartment and plopped down on his chair. Tired hands reached for the remote, but dropped it a few times. Retrieving the remote control the last time was when Barry noticed the old naked man lying on the couch. The old man was blind. His body no longer obeyed his brain's command to move. His hands and feet were drawn in from horrible arthritis. Breathing was very difficult for his inflamed lungs. Barry stared at the old man, which was lying on his back, breathing heavily. The old man sounded like a vacuum cleaner with a golf ball stuck in the hose. It didn't register to him who it was. He remembered that Lily said her father was dead, so that's not who it was. Ditto for his father. Was it the homeless guy from down the street that kept badgering Lily for cheese? Who was this old geezer, and why did he smell like a goat? Lily? Barry called to her. There was a rumbling from their bedroom, and she appeared in the doorway of the living room. Yes, dear? Lily said with a smile on her face. Barry hit a button on the remote, and the television turned on. Immediately he began to channel surf, watching the screen as a visage of changing faces and body parts, along with different locations and products, appeared and disappeared. Barry never once took his eyes from the glowing box. Who is the old naked man on our couch? He said calmly. What old naked man, Barry, my love? Lily folded her arms across one another. The one right there. Barry pointed the remote to the old man, who was now coughing and spitting something up, then swallowing it back in, repeating the process several times. That old naked man, Lily. Oh, yeah, him. Barry moved his eyes to meet Lily's cold gaze. Are you going to tell me who he is? It's your package, dummy. She walked back to the bedroom and slammed the door. Barry dropped the remote and jumped out of his chair with childish enthusiasm. He rushed to the old man and looked him over. You're kidding me, Barry cried out, laughing wildly. This is awesome! Fantastic! Have you tried him out yet? Barry noticed she wasn't in the living room anymore. He searched for the box the old man was shipped in. He found it behind the couch. Barry shrugged. Not as big as I would have thought for a man shipped in. He found a note handwritten. No refunds. Of course, Barry shook his head. Lily appeared again. Why did you do this? Because I always wanted someone to grant me wishes, Barry said, matter of fact. You used my credit card, Lily said. How else would I get this wish master? Barry grinned at her. Lily stepped forward and raised her fist to hit Barry. I wish I had $1,000 every time you did something stupid. As she said that, her fist popped Barry in the nose, and several bills from the Treasury Department appeared in her balled-up hand. Barry fell on his backside hard. He realized his wife had just punched him out. "Barry!" Lily screamed, her voice cracking at the last syllable.
"Did you see what just happened?"
Barry was shocked. He felt the pain his bloodied, pulsating nose attacking every one of his senses. "I saw my wife hit me," he said in that hurt little boy voice he uses when he's upset. "My loving wife hit me with her fists."
"No! Money appeared out of thin air in my hand."
Lily helped Barry to his feet. He ran for the bathroom.
"Oh my God!"
Lily was writhing in joy.
"I can't believe this is happening."
Barry darted back in the living room, holding a towel to his nostril. "You didn't have to hit me," he exclaimed.
"Sit down, honey."
Lily took Barry by the arm and placed him in his chair. She cocked his head back and held the towel to his nose herself as she sat on the arm of the chair.
"I'm sorry, baby. I got carried away. You know how angry I get at the simplest things. I don't mean to hurt you. You know I never intentionally mean to hurt you."
Barry thought a moment. He sighed. "It's okay, I guess." Lily rubbed her hand on his shoulder.
"You're a real sport, Barry."
He nodded. "Yeah, too much of one." "So you think the old man granted the wish?" Lily shrugged.
"You said he was
Sacci," Barry said.
"Right."
Lily stood, touched her lips with towel, and then threw it at Barry, hitting him in the chest.
"A Sacci. There's no restrictions on how many wishes you can have?"
"Yeah," Barry said with affirmation. "That's what GarageSale.com said," he said. He began following Lily as she paced the room.
"No,"
she said.
"There's no way you can get all that without a catch. No way. Gotta be a catch somewhere."
Lily stopped, turned to Barry. He lifted an eyebrow. "Why can't we just enjoy the wishes and not worry about consequences that may not exist?" Lily looked at Barry incredulously. He drew in air and held it, waiting for Lily to downsize him for the statement. Then she smiled, shrugged her shoulders, and laughed.
"Yeah,"
she said.
"Why not enjoy it?"
"Yeah," Barry repeated her. "Why not enjoy it?"
"I wish I had the most expensive bottle of wine on the dining table,"
Lily stated. They walked into the dining room. There, the bottle sat, already uncorked. Lily and Barry burst into laughter at the same time. They hugged each other. Barry took her by the hand and placed her at the table. He kissed Lily softly. She turned red in the face and turned away from him as she always did after he kissed her like that. "I wish a steak dinner and shrimp was on the table," Barry said. And they were not surprised when it appeared on the table. As they cut into their steak dinner, Lily looked into Barry's eyes and told him she loved him. Barry awoke in the morning in a frenzy. He stumbled out of bed, his vision severely diminished. He felt his way from the bedroom to the living room, shouting for Lily. In his trek was a lot of things they wished for and a lot of money laying around. TVs, stereos, different foods. A Cadillac outside parked where his van was. Clothes from the best designers in the world. Jewelry for him and Lily. 20 miles away, a 3-story mansion belonged to them as well. Barry crawled on his hands and knees, calling for Lily. He was stopped cold when he felt a man's leg. It was the old man, dressing in one of Barry's suits. He heard Lily moaning. She was lying on the couch, completely naked because clothing hurt every part of her body. It was difficult for her to breathe. The air was difficult to catch, her lungs inflamed. Her tongue was ravaged with cancerous sores. Her hands and feet were drawn up from intense arthritis. The old man helped Barry up, hugged him as he spoke in broken English. "Greed," he paused, laughed. "It destroys the body, eh?" The old man left Barry standing there in almost complete darkness. "Where did you go?" Barry screamed over and over, weeping. Lily still moaned, tried very hard to put sentences together. Her broken body would not obey her brain's commands. GarageSale.com. 2 Saccis for sale. Bid ends tomorrow, 11 p.m.
Three, 2, 1. Okay. T. Fox Dunham lives in Philadelphia with his wife Allison. He's a lymphoma survivor, cancer patient, modern bard, and historian. His first book, The Street Martyr, was published by Gutter Books. A major motion picture based on the book is being produced by Throughline Films. Destroying the Tangible Illusion of Reality or Searching for Andy Kaufman, a book about what it's like to be dying of cancer, was recently released from Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing, and Fox has a story in the next Stargate anthology from MGM and Fandemonium Books, Points of Origin. Fox is an active member of the Horror Writers Association, and he's had published hundreds of short stories and articles. His motto is Wrecking Civilization, one story at a time.
Phil Thomas is an author and screenwriter from the suburbs of Philadelphia. His screenplays have been produced into feature films False Face and Always from Darkness, and are available in major retailers such as Best Buy and Target, as well as availability on Netflix and Amazon On Demand. His short films can be viewed on his YouTube channel, Film Zero Presents. He is a member of the International Association of Professional Writers and Editors, and he currently writes for Cultured Vultures, Game Skinny, and BloodyDisgusting.com. His first novel, The Poe Predicament, is being published in 2018 by Caliburn Press.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of ParaX, its affiliates, or its sponsors.